Alright everyone, welcome back. The time has come. It's been 2 weeks. Time to finally do the answers to the 400 sub Q&A video. This is my first time going 2 weeks. And first off, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone that's subscribed to me before this video, or before the Q&A, since I've gotten another 35 subscribers since making the 400 video. And I love doing these Q&A videos. They're always so much fun. I love seeing what people ask. Good way for new subs to get to know me, get to know them. And judging by how long this takes, it might be in several parts, but who knows. So let's get down to it. I'm actually going to start on the reminder video that I did yesterday, I believe. Because someone named Shoe Bags. Oops, I forgot to comment on the other video. That's fine. You could also put it on that one. He asks, or this person asks, do your tattoos have any meaning, or do you or would you get any tattoos inspired by horror or Batman? Well, my first tattoo, because I was huge into Led Zeppelin at the time, still one of my favorite bands. My namesake in my family is the 4th, and main symbol for Led Zeppelin 4. That's why I got that. And this is a horror tattoo. It's zombies eating people. It's been years since I've had it worked on. It was supposed to go up my whole arm. I never got it finished. But yes, I would like to get a Batman tattoo at some point. More horror-themed tattoos. I see all the amazing trade paperbacks in the background. Do you collect it all single trades? First of all, thank you. And no, I don't collect singles because all of these books have singles in them. Most of these are collected editions, so all the singles are already in them. So I don't bother with that. I usually wait for trades to come out. What brought you to buy The Killing Joke in the first place and really get into comics? I think it was because I was really into the Joker, especially Heath Ledger's. I've always wanted to read comics, but never found a way to get into it. And I had heard what the story was about, and it was basically that. I had heard it was Joker kidnapping Gordon, trying to prove one bad day can make anyone crazy. I loved that aspect. But when I was a sophomore in high school, we had to read, what's his name, Spiegelman? Was that the author who wrote Mouse, the graphic novel Mouse? We read that. And I think it was just getting into the Batman movies again around that time that I just wanted to read more stories. And so I really got into comics. And then when I quit drinking, that was my rock. Still is. Thoughts on Geoff Johns' upcoming 3 Jokers? My thought is it's going to stay upcoming. It took him forever to do Doomsday Clock. He's still got to do Batman Earth 1 Volume 3. I mean, the idea is cool. If it stays Black Label or Elseworlds, which is what Black Label is now, I'm all for it. I'd rather it stay one Joker for the whole Batman's career. Probably won't be, though, because it was in continuity when Batman sort of was in the Mobius chair and found all that out. And some smaller ones. Favorite Robin? Dick Grayson. Favorite live-action Batsuit and why? Probably going to get hate, but I've always liked the look of Christian Bale's Dark Knight Rises suit. I like how it's tactical. I like how the gauntlets he can kind of make come in and out. I like that he can turn his head. But as far as most pleasing to the eye, as far as comic to page, I have to say Ben Affleck. Even though I'm not a fan of the movies, people want to say Ben Affleck is the most comic accurate. He's the most comic accurate for Frank Miller. That's one version. I'd probably say Bales, because I like how tactical it is. Favorite candy? Swedish Fish. Jerome or Jeremiah Valeska? Probably say Jeremiah. I like how he's more calm, calculating, more intelligent. Gotham TV show rating out of 10. Overall, I'd probably say an 8 out of 10, but individual seasons, I'd break up more than that because I loved season 4 and I really love season 5. Top 3 villains besides Joker. Good call. You know, most people would say Joker. That's easy. So, we'll just say Joker's here. Riddler, Bane, Penguin. And should probably save some questions for the next Q&A, which is coming up very, very soon. I hope so, man. Thanks. Thank you very much for your questions. All very good questions. So now we'll go back to the main video. And it looked like there was a lot of questions. Had a good turnout this time. So, again, thank you all very much for that. My good friend Horror Metal. Congratulations, man. Thank you. I'll have to think of a question. I guess he didn't get back to me. Ribbons Productions. Congrats on the big 400. Thank you very much. Proud to be a Room 237 fan. That means a lot. Thank you very much. My question would be, are you a big fan of horror books, or have you ever read any horror fiction novels? Yeah, I actually just did a half-hour video on my Stephen King collection. And, of course, you know, Edgar Allan Poe, complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft. And I also did a whole video of my Goosebumps collection. Goosebumps was the books that I learned how to read. So yes, I love reading horror fiction as well. Also, you know, Alvin Schwartz, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I read Frankenstein when I was really young. I actually rented that from the library. I read that on my own. But thank you for your question. Damn thing keeps screwing up on me. Darkness Demon 8, congrats on 400 subs. Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on vigilante movies, and are there any horror movie locations that you would like to visit? Vigilante movies, I haven't really seen much of any. Like, you mean like Charles Bronson type vigilante movies? I haven't really seen any. I can't really think of any. I mean, to an extent, maybe Taxi Driver is one I can think of, which is one of my favorite films ever. Horror locations I like to visit? Abso-fucking-lutely. The Overlook from Stanley Kubrick's The Shining would be like my Graceland. I'd probably faint if I walked in there. Of course, the Psycho House. I think you can still go to the farmhouse from Chainsaw Massacre. Fortunately, the cabin from Evil Dead has been burnt to the ground. Just trying to think. I'm sure there's some. I don't know. I believe it's the Myers house. Yeah, the Myers house from John Carpenter's Halloween. That's somewhere downtown Pasadena, California. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That's a tourist attraction. I always hate doing that on camera. That's a really good question. I'd have to think about that, but on top of my head, those are the ones I'd love to see. Well, technically, this was a horror movie location, even though I hate the movie. Stephen King's version of The Shining was shot at the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. I've always wanted to go there anyway. I don't like the movie, but I love the location. But thank you for your question. Turner King. Have you seen Days of Wine and Roses from 1962, starring Jack Lemmon and Lee Remick? It's about alcoholics. No, but I should. That sounds interesting, and I love Jack Lemmon and Lee Remick, so that sounds interesting. My good friend, Explorer of Horror. Oh, thank you, Turner King. My good friend, the Explorer of Horror, the Horror Boy. Congratulations, you're doing awesome, man. Surpass the Explorer of Horror. So happy for you, man. It's a big accomplishment, and you do amazing content. Great job. Thank you, man. I hope to see some good questions. I know I sound. Can I just have one video where I sound normal? One of my biggest subscribers hits me up all the time. I love conversations, and she's very good subscriber. Cynthia Sin. Congratulations on 400 subs, friend. Thank you very much. Hope you get much more. You really deserve it. I like to think so. Thank you. Thanks so much for all your work in this channel and for always sharing and being so nice and kind to us viewers. I do have my moments. Congratulations, great as always. With a heart. Thank you, Cynthia. And here's her questions. Really proud of you and your channel. I have a few questions, but don't feel you have to answer them all. If you post them, I will answer them. Alright, number 1. How have you handled the quarantine situation? I have loved every fucking second of it, to be honest with you. I've been able to go to work every day, so that's fine. The only thing that sucks is the one place I like to go, where I buy my movies and comics, was closed for a number of months. It's just now open with 5 people allowed inside. The main places like the grocery store, the gas station, allowing 5 people in doesn't bother me. What I really love is not having to go anywhere or having to go see people. I fucking love it. And the whole, 6 feet from people, I will wait in line at Walmart all fucking day to go grocery shopping with only 4 other people in the entire store. So, Cynthia, how have I handled it? With pleasant grace, to be honest with you. Number 2, what are your top 3 favorite figures in your collection? Overall or just horror? I'm assuming you mean just horror, because I actually still haven't gone over these yet. I have to make a video of my Tortured Souls and Spawn and those figures. But assuming from the video I made of my horror figures, one of them would definitely be the original Leatherface, which I have Leatherface for the first 3 films, but the first Leatherface, the Gunnar Hansen one, is one of them. I actually don't have him holding the chainsaw, he's holding the hammer. I would probably say the Friday the 13th Final Chapter Jason and my Evil Dead 2 Ash are my favorite figures. If we're talking pops, I would have to say my Bela Lugosi, my Hitchcock, and either my Jack Torrance or my Norman Bates. Batman, definitely my Arkham City Hot Toys. Probably, my animated series Joker, which is on the top shelf. And probably my Diamond Select Heath Ledger, which is all on the top shelf. I love the Catwoman. Can't really see it though. It's gorgeous. It's a Jim Lee Hush version of Catwoman. And then over here, my I can't remember their names, but the three of the Tortured Souls would be my favorites over there. Kind of cheated, but gave you all different ones. Which movies from the classic monster era do you consider the most underrated and why? Underrated. Probably Son of Frankenstein. Because it kind of went backwards. Karloff is kind of back to not speaking, but Lugosi gives a great performance. It is the last of the Frankenstein films with Karloff, and the monster kind of takes a back seat, but Lugosi, as the first iteration of Igor, it has some beautiful shots. You know, it gave Lugosi a chance to shine, which didn't usually happen back then, and people don't talk about it much. As far as Frankenstein goes, it's usually the original and Bride, which are my two favorites from that era. Bride is like my favorite movie from that era, but I would say that's the most underrated. And I think I saw your next one was most overrated, and why. I don't really think any are overrated. That's tough. I guess I would say Creature from the Black Lagoon, just because as far as the classic monsters go, it's further down on my favorites. It's still a very well-made film, a very good film. I love the creature design, but it was never one of my favorites. Like I do like The Invisible Man. I would probably even say I like the original Mummy, and I'm not a fan of the Mummy series. Which actually, no, I'll take that back. I would probably say The Mummy's Hand. Whatever, either The Mummy's Curse or The Mummy's Hand, I can't remember. Whichever one is the first, because the original Karloff film is not part of the series. That's sort of standalone, because that's with Hemotep is the Mummy. The one people think of, like the Wrapped Up, that's with Karis. Whichever one, the first one of that was that sort of started that series. Probably say that. Why? Probably just because I'm not a fan of like the Mummy as a character, except for the Karloff film, because I like his character. I like how he's portrayed in that. But the whole wrapped in sheets kind of Mummy movie, I've never really been a fan of. Although I do like the Hammer version, the first movie of the Hammer series. I know you shared with us some of your favorite bands in your past videos, but what is your top 5 most favorite bands? Christ. Whew. Okay. Death metal is my favorite genre. So don't be surprised when I say some of these, but I have to be real. My favorite band is Iron Maiden. Love them. Loved them ever since I was 13. Finally got to see him last year. I did a video about that show. Iron Maiden, Cannibal Corpse, The Doors, definitely. Probably say Whitechapel. Even though their first album is my favorite, second album is pretty great. Favorite bands. Black Sabbath. Did I say 5 already? It's really hard because there's even other bands like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin that I love. But then there's like Iron Maiden, Dio, Black Sabbath for the classic bands. And Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath will always be in my top 5. So will The Doors. So will Cannibal Corpse. So kind of hard to pick that last one. It would definitely be a heavier band. Probably Whitechapel. But I also love Aborted. Dying Fetus. Necrophagus. I know I kind of went above and beyond, but thank you so much for sharing with us, friends. You are the best. Congratulations and a big hug. I needed that more than you know right now. Thank you so much, Cynthia. You are awesome. Got another one from Turner King. Will you do a review of Hide and Seek with Robert De Niro? I probably could at some point soon. I do have a couple things lined up, but eventually I would like to get to it. Sometimes I forget I have it because it's with my Robert De Niro films, not my horror films. But thank you for your question. The Horror Miser Monty G. Congrats on getting 400 subs. Keep up the excellent work. Thank you very much. My question will be, what are your thoughts on Scream 5? Would you like to see both Snyder and Gale return with Dewey, or would you like to see something different? Honestly, I don't care. I like Scream. I like Scream 2. After that, I don't give a shit. Did watch the TV show, don't care to. And as far as this new movie goes, Wes Craven died. Just let it die with him. Would I like to see something different? Yes. Have them leave something the fuck alone. That's my answer for Scream 5. I would just... I assume nothing get done. But thank you for your question. This thing doesn't last long when I do that. Anna Carolina Mello, congratulations. You're so nice and cute. Your nose is just perfect. Well, thank you. My nose is not perfect because it's stuffed the fuck up all the time. It can't sound like a normal person. But thank you anyway. That's very kind. Germo Films, did you read every comic or book you have? Books? Yeah. Comics? Not so much. Because a lot of them, there's books that go in between ones I have. So I kind of wait till I get most. Like, I mean, one's down here, Hush and Under the Red Hood. Yeah. Most I've read down here. And I have read most of these. I've read all the ones down here. These are all poetry books, which I have read. And philosophy books. Like, these are all Nietzsche. Read those. Arthur Rimbaud, William Blake. I was reading those back in high school anyway. The comics, the further you go in post-crisis, the less I've read. Because I'm waiting to get as many as possible so I can do a straight read-through. But I do know what happens to them, or at least the main story anyway. But I have read plenty of what's up here. But thank you for your question. Another one from Turner King. Do you like Lee Remick and Gregory Peck? Absolutely. Lee Remick I've only seen in The Omen, which is in a top 10 favorite of mine. Gregory Peck is awesome. You can never go wrong with him. Will you do an Al Pacino collection? And congratulations on 400 subs. Thank you very much. Even though Al Pacino is in my top 5 favorite actors of all time, I don't have as lengthy a collection as I do Robert De Niro. But to answer your question right now, I have, of course, the Godfather trilogy. Other than which, Godfather 2 is my favorite film of his, then Godfather 1. I'll even say 3. But outside Godfather, my favorite film of his is Dog Day Afternoon. Then Glengarry Glen Ross, And Justice for All, Scarface, of course, Serpico, Carlito's Way, Insomnia, and The Devil's Advocate. Oh, and I also have Heat. That's in the Robert De Niro stack. Those are all my Pacino films. He is one of my favorite actors, though, but that's all I have of his. But yeah. Thank you for your questions. A Meadowland Fan 2004 backup channel. He always has interesting ones. Have you seen the TV show The Amazing Race? No, but I remember when it was on. Jammeral81. Hey, John, congratulations on 400 subs. Thank you very much. 1, are you excited for the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League? No, because I doubt it will add anything or change my opinion on it. I really don't. I don't care what anyone says. Do you think Terminator 1984? I like how everyone always puts the year of the movie as if I haven't heard of it. Is it a slasher film? No, I do not. It's a cyborg film. He debates that it's not. I agree. 3. Aside from Doctor Sleep, have you enjoyed any other horror movies from Mike Flanagan? Yeah, I really enjoyed Gerald's Game. That was one of the best and more surprising Stephen King adaptations lately. Uh, I have not seen House on Haunted Hill, but from what I've heard, it's worth checking out. And if I had more time, I would check it out. All right, I'm going to try to finish his question, and then I'm going to do a part 2 video. So I'm going to go through this kind of quick. Have you seen the Room 237 documentary? Of course I have. It's crazy. Do you like action movies? Not really. When I think of action, I think of Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Seagal, Van Damme. They just don't really grab me. Are you a fan of Star Trek? My girlfriend likes The Next Generation. I watch it with her. Never watched it before, or the newer stuff. Which Italian director do you like most? Argento, Bava, or Fulci? Used to be Fulci, but now I'd probably say Bava, especially his older films. Has there been any Blumhouse film that you like, and why do you usually not care for their production? I mean, yeah, there's some. On top of my head, I mean, I thought Get Out was great. Blumhouse. I would have to think about it. But to answer your question, why don't I usually like it, is they usually just put out shit. I don't care for... Like, to me, it's the epitome of what I don't like in modern horror. Or it's just incredibly stupid ideas, like that Fantasy Island shit that came out last year, or this year. It's mostly, and I know they don't just do ghost and paranormal movies, but that's usually what I see, and I'm tired of that genre. Granted, they have had films that I've enjoyed, yes. And I admit that on the videos of the reviews, but to me, it's just the production company I'm tired of the most. Are you a fan of Red Letter Media? Of course, I love Half in the Bag. I love Review. Mike, Jay, and Rich are awesome. Do you like the Phantasm movies? I've seen the first one, and I like it. Have you seen the gangster movie Kings of New York? No, but I've seen Gangs of New York. The only real gangster movies I watch is Italian Mafia and some Irish Mafia like Black Mass and The Departed. I know they're both based on Whitey Bulger. But anyway, I'm going to make a part 2 video right now. But first, thank you all so much to the first half that asked me these questions. And I'll be right back with part 2. Thank you.